What is up, y'all, and welcome to Limitless Sports TV. This is my first video on YouTube, not on YouTube, just for this channel. I have another channel that I've been uploading content on for a few years now, but this is my first video on this channel, and obviously by the name of this channel, obviously it's about sports. I plan to do multiple different kinds of sports videos during my time on YouTube, which I plan to do this for years, for however long, until I can't do it anymore. So don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you want, just to help me out a little bit, being that this is my first video again. I uploaded a couple sports videos on my other channel, and they did pretty good. So I figured, why not make a sports channel? Yes, I'm using a PlayStation mic at the moment, but it's okay. And this is the best place I have for a camera at the moment. But as I go down the road of this YouTube path, then hopefully I will have a new setup and a better setup, not in just a little bit of time. It won't take too long to get set up and get moving. I plan to upload videos every other day. Might see one back-to-back days occasionally. I just have a lot of videos planned right now, and they might come out fast. But at the same time, I do get busy on occasions, so some of my videos might come out a little bit later. But I do have a lot of video ideas for the near future, so I'm going to be trying to knock these videos out as fast as possible, at least on every other day schedule. Sorry, but enough of that stuff. First video topic is, if you can't tell by the title, my 2019 NFL predictions. Now, if I did all the teams the way I'm going to do this, if I did all the teams right now, it would take way too long. So what I'm doing is I'm doing it by division. I'm a Panthers fan, so I'm going to start with the NFC South, obviously. So yeah, what I did is I wrote down schedules, and I predicted who was going to win and lose those games, and then I wrote down some little notes to that way I could talk about each team. And I plan to do this with each division, and then once I finish all the divisions, there will be one division in each video. So 8 videos over the span of the next 8 videos, I will have a division champion and stuff. And then once all the divisions are finished, I will put together a playoff bracket based off my division champions and my seedings and all that. And I'll predict the 2019-2020 NFL playoffs and see who I pick to win the Super Bowl. But to start off, we're going to start off with the team that I personally hate the most in the NFC South as a Panthers fan, and that is the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is a completely unbiased thing. When I do prediction videos, I will try to be as unbiased as possible. But yeah, let's just see what y'all think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe again. Comment down below your predictions for the 2019 NFL season, or if what you agree with or disagree with for coming from my predictions. But we're gonna start off with the Atlanta Falcons. Week 1, or I'm sorry, no, we're not gonna get into the record yet. We're gonna get into my notes about the Falcons. They have a good core offense, honestly, with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, but not to mention that defense. I mean, they have a solid defense, honestly. But they aren't consistent enough to be good. Sorry about that glare coming off my mic. But yeah, they're just not consistent enough to be good, and they have to stay consistent. Nothing exciting really happened in free agency for Atlanta, so without further ado, we're gonna get into the predictions I have for their season. They open up against the Vikings on the road. I see them winning that game. Then they have a home game against the Eagles on Sunday night. I feel they lose that game. They lose on the road against the Colts. They lose at home against the Titans, and then they lose again on the road against the Texans. So that drops them to 1-4 at this point on the season. Then they finally get another W against the Cardinals on the road. Don't feel like the Cardinals have the team to be very good. I mean, who knows? Kyler Murray might have a breakout year in his rookie season and make the Cardinals great. Who knows? But I just don't see it happening. Then they drop their next two games. They lose to Rams at home. They lose to the Seahawks at home. Then they beat the Saints on the road. Then they lose to the Panthers on the road. Then they beat the Buccaneers at home. They lose to the Saints at home. And then they beat the Panthers at home. They beat the 49ers on the road. They beat the Jaguars at home. And they close their season against the Buccaneers on the road. And they lose that game, making their final record 7-9. So that's just the thing about this division for me. These division teams, no matter how bad they're playing, the NFL in general, anybody can beat anybody. But to me, especially in the NFC South, the NFC South, the Panthers could be 16-0 and lose to the Buccaneers. Look back at 2015 when the Panthers were 14-0. When they played the Falcons for the second time, and they lost. So anybody can beat anybody, but to me, it's especially in the NFC South. You never know who's going to win these divisional games in this division. But moving on to the Buccaneers, I don't like them either, but it's okay. The Buccaneers are just a terrible team. Like, they are terrible. They let go of Jerry McCoy. They let go of arguably their best receiver in Deshaun Jackson. Granted, they have Mike Evans. But I mean, you have to see my point. I mean, Deshaun Jackson's old, but he can still play. He's still one of the fastest guys in the league, and no matter the age. So that was a dumb decision. I would have brought him back at least for one more year if I could, if I was in their position. Their quarterback is just an immature player all around. Like, this dude acts like he's a senior in high school, getting ready to go play his freshman season at Florida State. I mean, he's just so immature. I mean, I was at a Panthers game a couple years ago, Christmas Eve game, and this man decided that he was going to lose his mind because his stupid self fumbled the football, and he was going to act like he was about to fight a referee. So, that man, he was just terrible. I mean, granted, I know what some people are going to say. I'm a Panthers fan, and that means Cam Newton's my team's quarterback, and he's not the most mature person all the time, but still, he's way more mature than Jameis Winston is, that's for sure. They did bring in Bruce Arians as a new head coach for them. But the last good thing that he has seen or done or achieved in his career as a head coach was a conference championship appearance in 2015, where he let Carolina drop a 49 bomb on his Cardinals team. So, yeah. Bottom line, the Buccaneers are just a terrible team in general. All around terrible team. But getting into my predictions for the Buccaneers. Sorry if any Buccaneers fans are watching this video and I just offended you, but that's just how it is. Any Buccaneers fan that I did offend, though, I might make y'all a little bit happy with this next part of this video about the Buccaneers. Even though you're not gonna like the ending, but the beginning is very good. I say the Buccaneers start off 3-0. They open the season at home against the 49ers. That's a win. They go to the Panthers. That's a win. Then they beat the Giants at home to start off 3-0. But then comes the rough stretch, and they lose to the Rams on the road. They lose to the Panthers in London. They lose to the Titans on the road. They lose to the Seahawks on the road. They lose to the Cardinals at home. They lose to the Saints at home. And they lose to the Falcons on the road. They beat the Jaguars on the road. They lose to the Colts at home. They lose to the Texans at home. And then they close the season at home against the Falcons. And they win, ending their season with a 6-10 record. Sorry. They're just not good. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints. As much as I hate to say it, their team is too good. I hate to say that, but they are just too good. There's only 3 names that say New Orleans Saints. When you think of the New Orleans Saints, there should only be 3 names that pop in your head, and that's Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas. Those are the only 3 players that they need to win. I mean, if you look back at last season, Week 17, the Panthers went to the Saints, 3rd-string quarterback, bunch of backups in the game, still managed to beat the Saints with a defense that was all starters. All the Saints defensive starters were on the field, and the Panthers still beat them because they didn't have Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas in the game. But Michael Thomas was in the game for the majority of the time. But still, in free agency, they brought in Latavius Murray, who was a good addition to that already good running back core. They brought in Mario Edwards Jr. He's a good player. He just adds depth to a already dangerous defensive line. They brought in tight end Jared Cooks. He just gives the big dog Drew Brees an extra guy to throw to. So, that's it for the Saints. Getting into their predictions, they open the season at home on Monday night against the Texans. I see them winning that ball game. Then they go on the road and lose to the Rams. Then there comes the hot stretch that the Saints always go on. I don't see why. I don't understand why. Sorry, but the Saints always, over the past few years, have always hit this hot stretch where they just ran the board with a bunch of teams and ended up keeping the division close, if not winning. So, week 3, they go on the road to play the Seahawks, and they win that game. Then they beat the Cowboys at home, beat the Buccaneers at home, beat the Jaguars on the road, beat the Bears on the road, and beat the Cardinals at home. They hit their bye week at 7-1. Then they lose to the Falcons at home. Then they beat the Buccaneers on the road. They beat the Panthers at home. They beat the Falcons on the road in a Thursday night game. They beat the 49ers at home. They beat the Colts at home. They lose the Titans at home, and then they close the season. Or no, sorry, they lose the Titans on the road. Then they close the season in Carolina, where they will lose that game, finishing their season at 12-4. Now getting to my boys, the Carolina Panthers. Like I said, unbiased predictions, unbiased as possible. The Panthers notes that I have down is this new 3-4 defense. I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. They brought in Jared McCoy and Bruce Irvin to help out that defensive line. They lost a good bit of talent over the offseason on defense, so those two will be good additions along with this new 3-4 defense. Also, another big addition would be Chris Hogan to the wide receiver core. He brings that veteran life that this young core needs. But the biggest thing overall for the Panthers is Cam's health. When he is healthy and he is playing at his peak, when he is playing his best football, the Panthers are a dangerous team. I'm not saying that just because I'm a fan. I'm saying that because I just know, like, when the Panthers have a healthy Cam Newton who is playing good, they're a dangerous team. So that's the biggest question for the Panthers right now. But he did throw a huge bomb to Curtis Samuel in training camp the other day. So, yeah, he looks fine. So, yeah, that's all for the notes. On to their predictions. On to their schedule. They open up the season at home against the Rams. I see them winning this game. Then they're at home against the Buccaneers. I see them losing that game on Thursday night. I see them beating the Cardinals on the road and losing to the Texans on the road. Then beating the Jaguars at home and beating the Buccaneers in London. So they come into the bye week in week 7, 4-2. They lose to the 49ers on the road. They lose to the Titans at home. The Titans are a dangerous team now. They're looking really good. But I checked today, and Derrick Henry got hurt. So I'm interested to see how long he'll be out. They'll beat the Packers on the road. They'll beat the Falcons at home. They'll lose to the Saints on the road. They'll beat the Redskins at home. They'll lose to the Falcons on the road. And then they finish the season with 3 wins. Home against the Seahawks, away at the Colts, and at home against the Saints, making their final season record 10-6. The 2018 NFC South standings went like this. 4th was the Buccaneers with a 5-11 record. 3rd was the Panthers with a 7-9 record. 2nd was the Falcons with a 7-9 record, and 1st was the Saints with a 13-3 record. My 2019 predictions say that the order will be like this. The Buccaneers will finish 4th with a 6-10 record. 3rd, the Falcons with 7-9 record. 2nd, the Panthers with a 10-6 record. And 1st, the New Orleans Saints with a 12-4 record. So, with that being said, we got 7 more divisions to go, 7 more videos until we make a playoff bracket. And if you want me to, I'll make a video when I'm making that bracket. And we'll see who is going to be the 2019 Super Bowl champions based off my predictions. If you liked the video, leave a like. Don't forget to comment. Tell me what you thought about the video, what you liked, what you didn't like. Share if you want. And don't forget, most importantly, to subscribe. Like I said, but when I started the video, I plan to do daily videos. If not, every other day videos. Trying to get them out as fast as possible. I have a lot of plans. And I plan to do football videos during football season, baseball videos during baseball season, But the baseball season's already in full swing, and we're almost to the playoffs. So I'm not going to do any baseball videos until the baseball playoffs start, until the MLB playoffs start, where I will make an MLB playoff prediction video. And then when NBA season starts, I'll do some basketball videos. I'll even do some hockey videos and stuff like that if y'all want. Just let me know in the comments what you would like to see, and I'll try to make sure it happens. But yeah, thank you for watching Limitless Sports TV. I'm Eric, and I will see you guys next time.